Hi everyone, today we're going to be learning about body systems. Body systems are really important to us as humans because they provide us with everything we require for life. So things such as nutrients, oxygen, water and the removal of our waste is vital for our survival. If we think of it in the simplest form, cells make up all living organisms and cells that work together make up tissues. Two or more tissues that work together make up organs, and organs that work together make up organ systems. Today we're going to focus on the nervous system. The nervous system has two main areas. It has the central nervous system, which is made up of the brain and spinal cord, and the peripheral nerves, which is made up of most of the other nerves. Nerve cells are divided into two main categories, and whilst the nervous system is made up of trillions of nerve cells or neurons, we're going to focus primarily on the two main types of the motor neuron and the sensory neuron. Neurons are responsible for carrying electrical messages called nerve impulses, and these nerve impulses travel at high speed and in one direction only. A neuron has four main parts. It has the cell body, shown here, which has a nucleus in the middle, which is the control center of the nerve cell. It also has dendrites, located here, that branch out. Now these are responsible for receiving messages from other nerve cells. They also all have an axon, which is located here and here, and the axon is in charge of conducting the nerve impulse in one direction only, and that direction is always away from the cell body. The final part to look at are these little knobs here and here, and they are responsible for passing the message on to the next neuron. If we look at the motor neuron in particular, what this does is it receives messages from the central nervous system, so the brain and the spinal cord, and it delivers these messages to things called effectors. And in this case, the effector is a muscle. So effectors can be muscles or glands, but either way, effectors are responsible for bringing about change. This is different to a sensory neuron because a sensory neuron has sensory receptors which are generally attached to your sense organs, so your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth and your skin. And these pick up stimulus and send the message to the brain and the spine to be interpreted and then dealt with. Nerves are connected to each other by interneurons. As you can see here, interneurons have dendrites here that receive the message and knobs here that pass it on to the next neuron. If we focus on nerve impulse transmission, as you can see here from the two neurons, they have the knobs and the dendrites located next to each other but not actually touching. If we focus in on this, so if we zoom in, we can see that this gap here is called the synaptic cleft. Now when we have a nerve impulse travelling from one neuron, it gets to the end of the knob and it stimulates the release of these neurotransmitters. Now these are little chemicals that travel across the space between the two nerves and they stimulate the message of the next neuron to be passed along again. So this continues again and again. It goes down one knob, releases neurotransmitters across the synaptic cleft, and that stimulates the electrical impulse in the next neuron. The final thing to look at is the myelin sheath, and the myelin sheath is really important because it's found in grey matter, which is part of the brain. The myelin sheath is a fatty tissue that surrounds the axon. So this is the long axon that you've seen in the other ones. Here's the cell body, dendrites and the knobs. This myelin sheath is a fatty sheath that goes around the axon that helps to insulate it and protect it. This does a couple of things. First of all, it increases the speed of the nerve transmission, which is really important because you want fast responses. And again, it also adds that layer of protection. That's all for today. Thank you.